All right. Hey, everybody on YouTube. It's Rhys, and I'm back for another video. Um, it's been a little bit of time that I've been away, but that's pretty much all to blame on school. But I decided that I had a little bit of time tonight, so I would go ahead and make a video. And I decided to make the video on STPs and my evolution, what I went through and how I landed on my most favorite STP, the one that I use every day. Um, one thing you might notice, those of you that watch my videos, a lot or have subscribed to me, is that you might notice that I'm in a different place than I normally am when I make these videos. You might be like, okay, well, I kind of recognize the stuff behind you, but what's that thing back there? Well, if you look up, I'm under my bed. I recently lofted my bed, and so that's my ladder of how I get up onto my bed, and it's actually up pretty high because if you look, this is me standing. It's pretty tall, so I mean I can get under here. I have to just kind of hunch a little bit, but I can just kind of like walk around underneath here. I'll just go ahead and show you. Pick this up really easy. Unplug the computer really quick. Hope we don't get too motion sick. Ta-da! There's my bed. Lofted up there. Yay! I'm pretty stoked. I mean, I've been wanting to loft my bed for years. I mean, like I've always wanted bunk beds. Like when I was a kid, I wanted bunk beds. Mom's like, yeah, but you don't have anybody to share the bunk bed with, since it was just me. But now that I'm older, it's like, yeah, well, I still want a bunk bed. I want a loft bed. So I went ahead and lofted my bed, which is pretty epic. I'm loving it. And one really cool thing is, I don't know if you saw them, there are these lights. There? These lights, I'll turn this light off. Have this really nifty, these guys. Check this out. That's green. I don't know how the heck this is gonna turn up on my screen here, but that's green. Red. That's obviously red. And the blue is freaking awesome. Kind of makes everything go like doo 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 doo. It's a lot of fun. There's tons of colors all in between. I mean, I can put it on like flashing and fading and strobe and all that kind of good stuff. So that's been a lot of fun too. So sorry about that. Well, there's no other light down here, and those things aren't bright enough. So I turn on my desk light, and it's like shining right at my face. Anyway, so yeah, that's pretty much like my update. I've lofted my bed, and it's epic, and it's awesome. I'm up really high. It's like seven. It's like 6 feet. My mattress is like 6 feet off the ground, and then when I'm up on my mattress, then I'm like 6.5 feet or so off the ground. It's pretty awesome. I love it up there. Anyways, so plug my computer back in real quick. All right, so now my STP Evolution, as I guess you can call it. So when I first started looking for STPs, I was looking for pretty much just, I was searching like Google search, like FTM STP, and for the first one I found was pretty much from the same guy that I found my Packer from, and he was called the Gear Guy, and I don't know where he was getting his stuff, but pretty much what it came as was, it came in one of these guys. And if you look, it's got the little hole there, and it's got a hole back here, and a tube went through that, and the tube that was in there, I've since then taken it out, but it was this guy. And pretty much all it is it's a medicine spoon, has this cute little cap to it. It's a medicine spoon that he had cut the bottom off of, and then this is just medical grade tubing. And this one was kind of neat because it had the cute little cap on it, so you can kind of keep it clean, you know, kind of away from you, I guess. And so it was in this thing, you know, in there like that. So pretty much, you know, it was kind of like that. So it wasn't that great because I actually had to cut the end of this because it stuck out. It was about there. And if you think about the anatomy of a trans guy's body, I'm not going to get, you know, all technical on you guys, but if you think about it, if this is up against your body, your urethra is about like here. And it was like there. So your urethra is like here. And the thingy's way back here. So to use this, I had to like slide it forward a lot. And so a lot of this, it was really kind of awkward to have to try to like slide this way forward to try to get it back to where it needed to be to do its job. And even though it was the packer type, so that, you know, it's like you could pack with it and, you know, it just looked like that in your pants, and it was great. But if you kind of look at the angle at which this angles down, this is like chilling like this. Where the heck is your body supposed to be, right? And so this thing sat right in the like funky region. It was kind of weird. And so this thing just kind of sat there, and if you're standing, it's fine. You don't really feel it that much, because even if you kind of like slipped it off to the side, you know, like not right up the crack type of thing, but kind of off to the side, it still was annoying if ever you had to sit down, because you kind of sit down, it's like, ooh, you know, and so it caused problems like that, and trying to get this little thing off to use it. I mean, it's great because it kept it kind of clean. It kept the wetness in there and not on you. But trying to get this little thing off, you know, and be discreet, it just wasn't not good. And I mean, you can kind of see on this thing, it's cracked. It's cracked there in that Y shape. It's cracked along the back there. It's got like a pretty good there it is, pretty good cracks going up there. And so that I sat on it, and you know, it cracked it a couple times, and then that it's where the guy super glued it, because again, I just got this online, and so that super glue stuff, it rubs and it scratches, and it's just not a pleasant feeling to have down there. So initially, I just tried making this shorter when it was in here and it was sticking like way the crap back there. I shoved this forward, snipped this off, and then kind of like pulled it back in there, and it worked a little bit better. And then I'm like, you know what? Screw it. That's a huge annoyance. Why don't I just take the packer off of it? Done. I'll just use this thing, because then this thing can kind of like be hidden a little bit easier, and then maybe, I don't know, I can situate it in there so it's not so bad. And I used that for a little while. But the problem is, I keep putting this little cap back on, and I should just leave it over there. This is not, I'm putting my hand, making my face in a shadow. This is not very big. And so to try to position this just right to get the flow to go down in there the way it should was very, very difficult. And I experienced a lot of leakage, which is not fun if you are trying to be discreet in the men's room. So I stopped using that fairly quickly, I might add. This whole evolution of me, you know, cutting it shorter, taking it out of this, using only this was like a couple months, and I was just like, you know what? I'm done. I'm done. No, not doing that anymore. It's embarrassing, and it's nerve-wracking enough for a trans guy to be going into a men's restroom to use the restroom and try to use the urinal, let alone trying to go in there with a STP that really doesn't even work that well. So then I started looking up other ways of using STPs. Like, I didn't really want to buy another expensive one because this one, especially since it came with the packer, it made it more expensive than, I don't want to pay for that again. So then I found a way to make one out of medicine spoons. And the one that I first found was this blue guy. And you kind of cut a hole in it and you use this. And this was a bit better because it's already kind of, if you situate this on your body, it already kind of has this downward angle here, which is, what you want. You want all that to go away from your body. And this worked pretty well. It has a bigger surface area than this one does. And it worked pretty well. I mean, I think I found this Walgreens, CVS, something like that. It's in like the baby section. It's like a little kid / baby thing. That little hook on the back was kind of annoying. But it started bothering me because it was blue. So I said, okay, fine. I'll go out and I'll find a clear one. Again, hole in it. It doesn't come with the hole. I had to get that in there. But it was in this package. There's its little partner. So literally, it's just medicine spoon. There's nothing special about it. I mean, it doesn't even say anything about it, how to use them. It's just medicine spoons. And so it's like the exact same style. Kind of get it on the right angle for you guys. Exact same style, exact same thing. It's like, if you get it flat like that against your body, then everything's going out that away like it should. And it wasn't blue like that one. So then I was using this one for a while, and it was just one of those things where, I would just kind of have it in my pocket, and it would kind of just, as I'm walking up to the urinal, it's just, I put my hand in my pocket, kind of pull it out, do a little palm thing, it's like you can't really see it, kind of palm it, and then there you go. And really, in the men's room, nobody's looking anyway, so it wasn't that big of a deal. But it also got annoying because, as nice as this is, as kind of discreet as it is, it didn't work all the time. It was like 50% of the time it would work great, it would be awesome, excuse me, and then 50% of the time it wouldn't work, and I'd be leaking down my leg again, and that's so nerve-wracking. And I don't think anybody ever really noticed, but it's so nerve-wracking. It was just embarrassing. Even if nobody ever saw it, it was so embarrassing. So I stopped using it. I just stopped. I'm like, you know what? No, I'm not even going to use urinals anymore. Screw it. There's plenty of cis guys who don't ever use urinals. So screw it. I'm not even going to do it. And so for a while, I was just like, no, I'm not going to do anything. And then I'm like, you know what? Let me try again. Let me look at more stuff. And the next packer I bought, I do not have anymore. I'll put a link in the description of the video that I made of that guy. It was like a STP review type of a thing on that thing. I'll put that in the description, but that did not work at all. It was way too huge because it was like a pack pee pleasure thing. So it's like you could pack with it, you could pee with it, you could have sex with it, all that kind of stuff. And it was huge. It was gigantic. It's like if you think about one of these guys, it was like twice that long and hard. So these little guys, they go squish. And you put them in your underwear, they go squish, 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 squish. That one didn't. It was like squish, thunk. And if these little guys make it look like you have a hard on all day long, that thing was like straight up huge hard on all day, and I'm just like, no, that's ridiculous. I just couldn't do it. I couldn't sit down. Trying to put it in there and then sit down was impossible. It was painful. So just no. Anyways, so I don't have that one anymore. I can't show you, but it's in a video that I did a while ago. And then I just stopped. for like the longest time, I didn't use any Packers, or no, well, I used Packers, but I didn't use any STPs for a while. And then again, I finally decided, like, all right, what do other people do? And so I started looking into it again, ones that were a lot nicer for putting them in your pants and not so much having to have them in your pocket, because that was kind of annoying, trying to always keep one in my pocket. So did more research, and I landed on the one that I use now, that I use every day, that it's always with me, and it's amazing, and I haven't had any problems with it at all. All the problems with these little ones that I've had, that all these guys, that they all leak, I've never had that problem with this one. And it is, drum roll please, the Finess. Da da da, the Finess. Finess. Okay, so it's not much to look at. I'll give you that. It's really not much to look at. I mean, comparatively of lifelikeness, this is a heck of a lot more lifelike than this guy is, but it's amazing. Okay, it's squishy. I mean, I can like squish it up and get it in my fist pretty easily. It's super squishy, and it's comfy. It's not. I can't put it in my pants like a normal packer, or a normal packing STP thing, but it's pretty dang amazing, because this big top here allows for your flow, and it never leaks ever. I mean, it's like I set it up against my body. I mean, if I tried to put it against my body perfectly this way, if you notice, the angle isn't very down. It's kind of back that way a little bit, and so it doesn't sit perfectly against my body this way. I kind of tilt it, and so my body kind of only comes to like here. And so there's like this little bit of gap there, but that doesn't matter at all. I mean, with these other little ones, you have to control your flow so much that you're like holding it back, like really trying to just make it look or else it's gonna come flowing out the sides. This thing, like it's crazy. Like I've literally tried it in the shower, where I'm like, I seriously have to go, and I'll get in the shower, before my shower, so I don't have any clothes on or anything, and I'll just let it rip, and no drip escapes. It's pretty darn awesome. I'll put a link in the description. Its name. It even says on it, thefiness.com. I don't think you can see. You can kind of see it written right there, but see, little tiny. It's a little tiny. It's the like Canadian leaf, the leaf that they have on their. I don't know what that leaf is called. I know it's from a certain tree, but it's got that little print kind of punched into there. But yeah, this thing is amazing. I use it every day. I haven't had any problems with it at all. Excuse me. Oh, I just randomly wore this shirt today. I got this when I was at the Everglades Holiday Park. This was the second time that I went to Florida, because I went for my surgery, and I went to their park, and then last year I went back after my 1 year anniversary on my top surgery. I went back, and I went there again, and I got this shirt. So I just randomly decided to wear it today. But yeah, this little thing is absolutely fantastic. And so what I do with it is it pretty much sits like this in my pants, against my body. Like, obviously not on my chest, but it sits against my body like this, not up like this, because unless I like bent it like that and stuck it into my pants. But the thing is, I have a packer. And so this, sitting where a packer would say, okay, that's cool, all right, yeah, go ahead and do that, and then just boing, when you want to use it, it's always fun. Ha 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 ha, boing. So but yeah, so pretty much the way that this thing works is, all right, Don't worry, you're not gonna see nothing obscene, but what I do is I just kind of like, oh yeah, these underwear, aren't they great? Look, they're my gentlemanly giraffes. Anyways, but this, I just stick it right there, like right at the top of my underwear. Now you'll be like, well, dude, I can see that there's something there, but when I do that, I mean, yeah, you can see there's a little bump there, but as soon as I put my shirt down, there's nothing. You don't see anything. Oops. I'm like leaving the camera. Move the lights. Okay. You can't see it. I mean, even if I were to like walk around like this, I mean, yeah, you can see a little bit of a bump right there. But so what? I mean, it's not that big of a deal. You can't really see it. And especially since all of my shirts pretty much all cover right there, it's I mean, it's like you don't see it. You don't see it. Anyways. Yeah. Anyways, so that's how it sits in my pants. That's how I wear it every single day. And so it's sitting against my body like this, and all I do is just push my underwear down and just kind of flip it forward. And it works great. I mean, like I said, I've tested this thing with my flow. I mean, I can put it underneath the water faucet and just run water in there, and there is enough. It's like a pretty big hole there, and then it gets smaller right there at the very end. But there's enough surface area in this cup part that moving my desk that it holds it great, and I haven't had any problems with it. The only time that I was a bit scared was it was right after a workout, and so I was sweaty and nasty, and so then I went to go use this, and the fact that I was sweaty, and so like everywhere was sweaty. Sorry, hang on. I'm like crushing papers. Okay. Everywhere was sweaty, and so to me being kind of like freaked out about Packers or STPs not working, it felt wet. Like it felt like there was wetness on my leg, but there was because I was sweaty, not because it was leaking. And so I kind of got freaked out then. But this has not caused me any problems at all. I mean, like I've changed around people, and like nobody's given me a funky look or anything like that. But yeah, it's great. It's absolutely amazing. It's way better than any of these other things that I've tried. And it's not that expensive. I think it's like $15. I mean, like this one was like 30. I mean, granted, okay, yeah, the little medicine spoons they were cheap because little cheap plastic things. But you get what you pay for. That other one I got was like $80 and absolutely ridiculous. It was just no. So this thing being only like 15 plus shipping and handling of course, but that thing it's great. It's absolutely amazing. I love it, and I'm super glad that I got it. So yeah, that's my kind of review. That's my STP evolution, as it were, and yeah. So I'm gonna kind of call this a night. I hope this helped you guys, and that way maybe you don't have to go through this whole big long litany of failures before you get to a good one. You just go right out, get yourself one of these little guys. They come in different colors. They have some that have like a little bit of a head on them, but it's kind of silly. I mean, honestly, it looks identical to this guy, except it has a tiny little bit of like a little bit of a head on it. Looks kind of a little bit more like an actual penis, but honestly, it's still so silly looking that you might as well just get this. I mean, like it's like an extra $3 or $4 just to get the little head on it, so you might as well just get this thing. It's great. I mean, you can use it as just a regular packer. It's like if you want to, do something like that, and stick it just kind of down in the front of your pants, and then just kind of like That totally just jumped out of my hands. If you want to do something like that and then just there, I'm not gonna let it go to, something like that. But I mean, you can mess with it. I mean, I've found that just sticking it at the top of my underwear, it kind of like sits on top of my packer and just kind of sits there and chills there. And you can't see any difference really. And I mean, I guess if I were going swimming, I wouldn't have. I mean, I'd have my packer with me, but I wouldn't have my STP because it would look kind of funny underneath the suit. But I mean, if you have, it's underneath your underwear, underneath your pants, underneath your shirt, then it's no one's gonna know. Only you're gonna know. So yeah, hope this helps. Hope you guys are still doing awesome. I'm busy as hell and dying underneath mountains and mountains of homework, but I hope to still be kind of keeping up with videos. Probably some stuff more like this, where I talk about stuff that I've gone through. Maybe help you guys out with certain stuff. So yeah, I'll see y'all around. Peace.